What is going on, guys? This is going to be my first Binding of Isaac gameplay, and yeah, my first time playing, well, not first time playing, but first time making a video on the Binding of Isaac. And Binding of Isaac is just a little indie game made by Edmund Macmillan, who is the creator of Super Meat Boy, which is a really popular indie game, which kind of put indie games on the map, really. So this game is kind of popular with the YouTube community, with players such as Northern Lion, and literally everybody plays this game. I do not know people who have not played this game, and I kind of got addicted to it because my friend Epic Jester, he actually first got it, and I was teaching him how to play, and then I realised how much I actually love this game. And basically, today's not going to be like a live commentary, so I'll try and figure those live commentaries out for Binding of Isaac later, but this is just a run that I had, and this Binding of Isaac's it's going to be like kind of like a topic section. So what you can do is you can send me in topics. It could be about TF2, it could be about Binding of Isaac, it could be about anything. If you want me to talk about school, life, things like that, whatever, you send in the comments below, and I'll just play Binding of Isaac and record myself, and I'll just talk about it, because while I'm not doing these live commentaries, there's no point in me talking about the game, because it's kind of that live commentary kind of game. So today I've got a story for you, and it's going to probably be called Binding of Isaac Storytime. And I obviously don't have that many wacky and interesting stories, but I'll try and think of as many. But I've got one in mind that I'm going to be talking about for this video. So, but like I said, this isn't just stories, this is like topics, whatever. So I know I'm Flash sent me a topic for TF2 to talk about changing disguise, so that's just an example. So literally send me any topic, don't be afraid. Even if it's stupid, if you want me to talk about bananas, then I'll probably talk a little bit about bananas, but maybe whatever. So yeah, make sure you do send me these things, because I will be playing a lot of Binding of Isaac, and I can just make these random topic videos, and this is a chance for you to really get to know some stuff or some things or topics, whatever. So get them going, I'll stop ranting on about it. So today's story is kind of one that makes me chuckle, and it's kind of one that makes me I wouldn't say reminisce, but I'd say nostalgia. I wouldn't even say nostalgia, but it's kind of like good memories, kind of like funny, reminds me of my childhood and things like that. So picture yourself as me, about 5 years old. No, not 5 years old, about 6 or 7 years old. And it was summer, and it was a sunny day, a sunny series of days, and I had this cousin. He's a lot older than me now, he's about 21 now, but at the time he would have been about 11, 12 or 13 or 14, and basically it was the summers, and we were just like having water fights in his back garden and things like that. And so yeah, Josh is going to be a pretty heavy feature in this one, and that's his name, and he's my cousin. Shout out to him, even though he's not going to be watching this video. But yeah, so me and him, we just play like Sega Mega Drive and everything when we were younger, and really good memories. And he was really great with me, considering like I was younger, and I was probably a little bit of an annoying kid. But yeah, he was great with me, and we'd have these sunny series of days, and it would just been playing in the garden and stuff. And one day, we were playing in the garden, and then he has this tree house, and this tree house is kind of it's a decent size. It's kind of like the stereotypical tree house suspended in the air. It's got yeah, suspended in the air. It's got a door, it's got like windows and things like that, and it's kind of small, but that's usually how tree houses go. And yeah, so we like kind of like played around there when we were having water fights, used it as kind of like a fort or something whatever little kids do. And it was kind of funny because his parents were having like this summer party with like a barbecue and things like that in the back garden. So we were just playing around, and the garden's pretty big. His garden is actually a decent size, so it's kind of like an adventure bit around it. So kind of like imagine a rich kid's garden or whatever like that. So there's this tree house, and I'm about 7 or 8, and we go and like walk into this tree house, and then we just see like a sleeping bag there, and I was kind of like, whoa, what the hell, why is there a sleeping bag here? I was like, have you been having a sleepover, Josh? And he was like, no, I haven't done anything. And we were like looking around, and we kept on finding these like little items, and there was just various things like toothbrush, toothpaste, and there was like shoes in there. There was literally everything. It's like it was kind of like a Tramp's backpack kind of thing, and we didn't like tell our parents about this because people were like, whoa, what the hell's going on? Like we were kind of scared, and we just kind of like ran inside like thinking about what we should do, and so we were kind of just like we didn't want to like tell our parents in case like anything happened, because I thought that like, oh no, there's a murderer in my back garden, I'm gonna die or something like that. But yeah, basically it was we waited overnight the next day. We didn't tell our parents, and we went in the morning, and this is I believed him, but Josh said that he saw a guy coming out of the treehouse, and I wasn't there at the time. But he said he saw a guy coming out of the treehouse, and I was like, oh my god, this is so scary. I am not having a water fight today. I'm just going to stay inside and play Sega Mega Drive, whatever. Oh my god, I love the Sega Mega Drive. I love that console. I'll talk about that console later on in maybe another video, but yeah, good memories on that console. But yeah, I just wanted to go in and play Sega Mega Drive, and I didn't want to go out there, but Josh was like, oh, he wanted to go there because he was a bit older, but he didn't want to go on his own, so he kind of wanted me to come and see what was going on. So he kind of spent all day talking me into it, and I was just chilled out playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And so I ended up going out eventually, and we were going into the back garden, and the guy wasn't there, and there was a lot less stuff there. There was like the only stuff that was left, like I could see a bottle of water, toothpaste, and then like the remains of someone like gargling their mouth on the floor, and a toothbrush. So he'd been brushing his teeth, this guy, and we found like a shoes in it, and we found a note in the shoes, and this is kind of creepy, and it was they said, thank you. I can't remember what exactly it said, but it said, thank you for letting me stay these couple of nights. And I'm not even joking, I'm not even bullshitting. He left his shoes, and in the shoes was like a £20 note, so kind of like some rent. And this was really weird. This is when we just told our parents, and they were just looking around, and they found out there was a phone number. Like they found a phone number attached in the shoes, and then they just called the guy, and they were like asking him what was going on. And then he was just talking, and it turned out he was actually homeless. So it's kind of a sad that he was homeless, and they were just talking to him like saying, you know what, it was alright that you stayed, it's just that the kids were a little creeped out, you can come back and get your stuff, because I think he'd obviously got a little bit spooked and just went off because he didn't want to get like busted or whatever. So we ended up seeing this guy, and he looked kind of like, he didn't look like a really rough tramp, but he was just like, he looked like he'd just become homeless and he didn't know what to do with himself. So that was like kind of all the like hiding in the bedrooms and like being dead scared, thinking there was a murder in the back garden over. So and then that's kind of like the sad part of the story, that the guy was homeless, and he just kind of took his stuff, said thank you, and the parents gave him back the £20. They said it's not necessary or anything like that. So honestly, this is a true story. I know it sounds far-fetched, but it's a very interesting story. And yeah, so he packed his bags and he went away, and that's basically the story. So it's kind of like a tramp living in a treehouse, but the thing was that we didn't know how long he was there. So he could have been there for like weeks or whatever. It's just that we just decided randomly one day to check the treehouse, and there was just like it was just so weird seeing just some guy's belongings there, and we just, because you're so young, you just don't know what to think at that kind of time. So kind of weird stories there. So yeah, I'll talk a little bit about the Sega Mega Drive. I've still got some time. That story it's kind of a short story. It's kind of good story as well. I like that story. Reminds me of just playing in the garden and stuff like that. So Sega Mega Drive, obviously Josh again, he's my cousin, and because when I was younger, I used to think this Josh guy, because he was older, he was like the coolest guy ever. He's like, oh, he's got a games console, oh, look at his room, he's got like football posters and everything, oh, this guy's amazing. And so I always used to like look up to him lots, and he was a big role model for me. So yeah, I used to play this console, 2 players, and there was a lot of fun games that we used to play on the Sega Mega Drive, and he was probably fed up of me just coming around to his house sponging off his console. But I honestly loved it, because I didn't have a console at the time. The first console I got was the Nintendo GameCube, and I just bashed that as soon as I got it, because obviously my first console, I was like super excited at Christmas and things like that. So on this Sega Mega Drive, one of my favourite games to play was Aladdin, and I'm actually quite I wouldn't know what to say, but you'd actually see it in this Binding of Isaac video, that I'm kind of like a full explorer. So if I play a game, I want to like look around every corner, searching everything. And this Aladdin game, it's got like some funky theme tune, and you kind of have to like just get through the levels, kill the enemies, and get to the end. And you can collect these apples, and this is what drove my cousin mad. You can collect these apples, and you get like every 100 apples you get a life, and I was just hung up on getting all these apples, and obviously they're hidden over the game kind of like as like a secret thing, and he was just frustrated at me just I'd finished the level, but I just keep going back and looking for the you know, all these apples, and I ended up falling down pits and things like that. So I kind of beat the game but didn't at the same time, and he was just like, oh my god, what is he doing? And he would have saved less lives if he just didn't get these apples. And just funny memories like that, and especially fighting games. You know, there's like those Street Fighter and Tekken like that, and obviously I wasn't allowed to play like the Mortal Kombat, because I think the Mortal Kombat was on those consoles, but obviously wasn't allowed to be. I don't think he would be allowed to play that actually, because it's a really gory game at the time, and we were playing this game. It was called like the Eternal Champion or some sort of fighting game. And obviously because he was older, I was terrible at this game, but I thought I was the biggest, baddest, best thing to happen to the game ever. But obviously he would just go easy on me, and I would just like, I didn't even know what the block button was, and obviously that's how bad I was at the game. And I ended up like getting too cocky when I beat him. I was like, oh man, you're not even good at this game. And then as soon as he starts trying, I just get whooped. So that's another game, Eternal Champion, pretty funny game. And then you've got the classics that I used to play. I used to just love playing Sonic, and I'm still to this day terrible at Sonic. I just always like run into the spikes, lose all my rings, and then just die. But I just loved the speed element of it, just razzing around the game, doing that supersonic charge thing. And oh, I love the Sonic games. And also put some comments below. What are some of your first classic gaming moments? What are some of your favourite games, like the old school games? And there was tons of games on the Sega Mega Drive. He had quite a lot of games, and there was just too many to get through. I mean, he had like Spider-Man games and all things like that. I could go through them all, but it would take, well, it wouldn't take too long, but I think I'd kind of bore you talking about this, because it's kind of my personal memories. That's why I want you to comment on what your first gaming experiences are, because I know there's different age groups around as well. So yeah, so the Sega Mega Drive was just this awesome console, and I actually looked into buying one recently, a Sega Mega Drive, just to get some of that nostalgia back, and especially a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That was his favourite game, and we could play that together, and that was just great fun. Just smashing it. And I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like the cartoon, and he had Sky on his TV, and like this Josh guy, he had everything. He's kind of like that kid that just has everything, and he had Sky on his TV and I didn't, so we got to watch like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and everything like that, and then we would play the game, and oh, it was just amazing. And then as we got older, it kind of separated more and more, really. And the next one up from the Sega Mega Drive was the PlayStation 2, and I had a PlayStation 2 as well as him. And as he was getting older, he was kind of getting less into video games, and I was getting more into them. So it's kind of like a cycle, that he was the one that had all these video games, and then eventually I'm the one that has all these video games. So kind of like a cycle. But yeah, he had this PS2, and again, he had lots of really good games on there. He had like the Lord of the Rings games, which really got me pumped, because I just loved playing those Lord of the Rings games. I mean, you know when you're younger and you play a game and you think it's so much better than it actually is, because you play it again when you're older, you're like, wow, what the hell is this? This is not even good. and that's probably either because you're younger or just because the standard of game has generally gone up. But there are still classics out there which remain better than games today. There's a lot of people say that some of the best games of all times are like the Marios or the Zeldas. I mean, I didn't personally play them. I had a lot more, you could probably say, mediocre games, but for me, in my heart, they're classics because they're my experiences. And if I played a Zelda today, it's not got that nostalgic feel for it that gives it so many plus points. So yeah, the next console up was the PlayStation 2, and I remember my first time getting told off for playing games, and it was actually because I don't know, it was just GTA, so Grand Theft Auto. I'm not sure which one it was, but all I saw was, I walked into his room, I was like, hey Josh, he was like, hey, and he was playing Grand Theft Auto, and I just saw this chainsaw, and I was like, whoa, that's well cool, what game is this? And obviously the graphics are all cool compared to like the Mega Drive. I was like, oh, it's Grand Theft Auto. I was like, oh, can I ever go? And he was older, and he was kind of like knowing that I'm not really allowed to play the game, and he was like, yeah, giving me like all these excuses, like, oh, it's one of those games where you have to know where to go and know what to do. It's like, oh, I can learn, let me play. And I just kept bugging him to play, and I ended up laughing seriously hard when he was just getting like golf clubs and like swinging people off motorcycles. I mean, that's some of my favourite things today. When I play GTA 4, I specifically go for the golf club and hit people off motorcycles because of that. It gives me that memory of playing GTA for my first time, and GTA is such a funny game. I mean, every GTA I've played, it has made me laugh like so hard I could have wet myself, because it's just so random and you can just cause so much chaos. And oh my god, I love GTA. I can't wait for GTA 5 to come out. I'm probably just going to get that on console and bash that. But anyway, so yeah, so the first time I got in trouble, so basically I was like, he let me play this game and I started playing it, and I was kind of like, actually no, wait, there's a hole in the story here. I actually went to a sleepover at my friend's, my first ever sleepover, and I was kind of still young, and it was actually with Epic Jester and with another kid as well called Cameron. So it was with Epic Jester and Cameron, and he was another one of these cool kids that had everything. He had older brothers that had like an Xbox, and I had never even heard of an Xbox, and they actually had an Xbox Crystal. And when I saw this see-through console with like all these wires in and everything, I was like, whoa, what the hell is this? Is this like some secret console that only you have? And they were obviously like, yeah, it's that. But anyway, he had Cameron had a PS2 in his room, and his brother had like an Xbox, and just a really cool guy. Like I said, one of those kids that had everything. So he had a PS2, and on the sleepover, I didn't actually get to play GTA, but because I didn't know how to play it. But I was actually watching them play GTA, and it was pretty funny. Just, you know, I mean, for when I was younger, like staying up at that time, it would have been probably about like 10 or 11 o'clock, but not even late compared to like all-nighters or whatever like that. So yeah, 10, 11 o'clock, we're thinking it's like dead late and things like that, and we're thinking we're real like rebels, like drinking Coke and things like that. Ooh, who would ever think? So yeah, playing GTA and just like playing like random games like FIFA and Tekken as well. I remember playing Tekken there. We all bashed that, and that was so funny, and so many good memories from that sleepover. And it was first sleepover, one of my best sleepovers. And I remember this game he had, it was called iToy. I'm not sure if anyone's heard of it, but it's kind of like the first motion sense game. It's kind of like the Wii, but with your hands, and like you kind of like move your hands to do these like mini games, like blow up balloons and things like that. And I thought it was kind of cool. And you actually, he was actually connected online on his PS2, and you could get a high score and you could submit it on the leaderboards and take a picture of yourself with this iToy. And he actually pulled a moonie at the iToy camera and then submitted it on the iToy leaderboards, and I just thought that was the funniest and most rebellious thing ever, even though it's just kind of a moonie, but whatever. Anyway, I'm going off topic, just talking about memories and things like that. But basically, yeah, we played GTA there, and I didn't play it, but then I did like play it just a little bit, and I kind of got to the controls and how to like mess about. So I went to Josh and I was like, hey Josh, can I borrow GTA? And he was like, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do that. I was like, oh, come on, I've played it with my friends, it's alright, I'm good at it, and things like that. And he was like, he didn't really want to give it me as well, but he did end up giving it me, and I went to his house, and I kind of got the game, and I shoved it under my shirt to like hide it when I came in the door. But literally the first thing that happened is when I came in the door, my dad just saw me. I was like, oh god, and he's like, what's that? And then he saw the 18 certificate, and I was kind of busted, because I was only like, I can't even remember how old I was, but way too young to be playing GTA. I didn't even, the only bit I knew was beating people up. I didn't know any of the other stuff in it, but yeah, so I was way too young to be playing it, and he caught me, and then I got in a load of trouble for trying to sneak it out, and then actually Josh got in trouble as well, so he kind of probably regretted giving it me, and he's never really given me anything since. So yeah, the first time I ever got in trouble, I was kind of like, oh man. But PS2 was one of my favourite consoles, because it was the second console that I had, and it was better than the GameCube by far, because I had much better games on it. I had some of the classic games like SSX 3, James Bond games on there with the silent sniper rifle. I would just bash these games all day. It was just amazing. And yeah, so PS2 is one of my favourite consoles. It was like the first console that I actually bought a game for. Like the GameCube, I played, because I was so young, I didn't even know you could buy games. I just thought that you got them or something like that. But it was the first one that I got games from the shop, and the first game I ever bought from the shop was SSX 3. And like I said, it's a really good game. And it brings back so many memories, that game. And they recently brought out a new SSX, but apparently it's not as good. I mean, people, when they say, like, have you ever played an SSX, they either say SSX 3 or SSX Tricky, and they're like the biggie ones that everyone remembered playing. But yeah, PS2, amazing console. People, I've heard gamers say, big time gamers say that PS2 has got one of the best game libraries there is, and could even be one of the best consoles out there. And yeah, big props to that console. So yeah, there's some of my really first gaming memories. I mean, when I say console, I did have a Game Boy in between, and obviously again, I loved my Game Boy. I just bashed that thing, and I kind of, that was another game where I got games from the shop, and that's where I got most of my games. Like for the PS2, I only got a few games from the shop, because they're kind of expensive for a kid to play, and for a kid, you can kind of keep yourself entertained on a crappy game forever, really. I mean, I would just play James Bond again and again and again, even though I'd completed it. It's just because I liked the game. But anyway, so yeah, I got a Game Boy, and oh, the Game Boy's great. I mean, I still play Game Boy games on my DS to this day. It's like the old school Pokemons. They were some of my favourites, and I remember on it's non-school uniform day, voice crack central. How embarrassing, but whatever. Yeah, on non-school uniform day, we were allowed to bring in our Game Boys, and obviously everyone was bumming, and everyone brought in their link cables, and they'd all play Pokemon together and trade Pokemon, like trade Charizard and Blastoise and things like that, and that was just amazing to do. I'm not sure what you would actually call, I think in America you don't have school uniform, I think that's correct, but yeah, you don't, you basically don't have, wait, no, I think, I've kind of got myself in a muddle here. Yeah, you have uniform in the UK, basically. You have to have uniform. So non-school uniform thing is kind of like a big deal. You're allowed to bring in like a toy, and obviously all the boys brought in like their Game Boys and whatever, and all the girls brought in the Barbie dolls, whatever. I can't even remember. And they'd also bring in like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Pokemon cards. I'm not even going to start on those. Go-Go, Crazy Bones as well. If I start on like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh and Crazy Bones, I'm going to be talking all day, I swear to God. I just loathed Pokemon just so much, especially the cards, especially Yu-Gi-Oh as well. Because you would watch the TV show, and then you'd get inspired, and then you'd trade for the cards, and I'm starting, I need to stop, I'm not even going to attempt it. So yeah, so playing the Game Boy and things like that, so there was a lot of classic games, like, I think I had Pokemon Leaf Green, and everybody else had Fire Red, and everyone was like, oh, Fire Red's the best, and I kind of disagreed. I actually liked Leaf Green better than Fire Red. It's just, That's just what I liked, because everyone had Charizard and I liked having the green one because it's like what everyone didn't have. And I remember battling, I always used to lose because I wasn't the best gamer, but I did love Pokemon, and everyone would, it just brings back so many good memories of primary school, just linking up and playing Pokemon together. But yeah, so those are some of my just first gaming memories. And after the PS2, I can't even remember what I got after that. I think after the PS2, it was a long jump before I got my next console. I actually got a DS, and then I got my PS3. I remember getting my PS3 quite late, and that's kind of like the big console. I mean, my PS3 did broke, but I still have a PS3 today, and I actually still have all my consoles today. I've still got my GameCube around somewhere, and they're all cluttered about and things like that. They're all just collecting dust, and these were things that just gave you happy memories when you were younger. And tell me what consoles you had when you were younger as well, and obviously don't forget, post some commentaries of whatever. I'll just talk about random topics. I know I've been talking for a long time. This is my longest commentary ever, and I know that some people aren't listening because they've just turned off at this moment. But if you are listening, thank you for listening to my memories, and post your own commentaries because they'll probably be more interesting because you're the people choosing it. But I think, if I can remember correctly, I was talking about Josh, and we were coming further and further apart, and the PS2 was kind of like the last console we ever played together. And then I think when he was like 20 and I had a PS3, it's not even that long ago, and we'd not even like played games together for ages. And he actually, because he just wasn't interested in games anymore, he didn't have a PS3, but like 2 Christmases ago he got a PS3, and he was like, oh James, can you just like help me set it up and things like that. I was looking at some of the games he got. He actually got Skyrim and Battlefield, and I think one of the Call of Duties, and then a Gran Turismo. I was like, oh, you got some good games here. He's like, really? I don't even know what games are good. And I was like, yeah, just if you wanted to borrow any games from me, I've got tons of PS3 games, and I actually do have quite a lot. I have about 30 of them. So he just ended up borrowing games like Final Fantasy off me, and I ended up going around to his house for a couple of times, just playing Skyrim with him, and it was actually bringing back so many memories. It's just so good that we actually played some games together again after years of just not playing games again. And we played Skyrim. Obviously we weren't together, but we were just watching each other play Skyrim and helping each other out, and yeah, it was just great to finally play games with him again. So it's kind of nice to see that there's still that kind of childhood bond there, and it's really nice. And yeah, that's kind of really all I can think to talk about. I mean, 27 minutes. I know. Apologise if I've been babbling on a little bit, but hopefully I remember to press the record button. Better check now. Yeah, I did press the record button. That would be a pain in the ass if I didn't press that. So yeah, I can't think of anything to talk about because these Binding of Isaac runs are kind of long. So if you guys give me a topic in the comments, I'll probably put 2 in 1. So if someone asks me about why I like Spy, or someone asks me why I don't know, some random ass question, but if someone asks me something, I'll put 2 topics in at once and things like that. So please do leave a comment, and don't obviously leave me hanging here with this one gameplay. But I hope you actually enjoyed the gameplay. It's just an Isaac run, and I do really well in this run, considering I did have the game before. I had a free version of it. I downloaded it, but by downloading it, I actually got myself like a Steam ban, and that Steam ban was for 9 weeks, and I wasn't allowed to trade or add anyone for 9 weeks because I downloaded a free Steam game. And this time around, I knew that I wanted to make some like gameplay commentaries on it and things like that, but I wanted to get the paid version, and that's the one that I'm thinking about, the paid version, so I can get like the achievements. And also I don't want to get a 9-week Steam ban again. That would be a pain. But yeah, so I got the Binding of Isaac, and I got the Wrath of the Lamb DLC. I know it's probably not going to be a long time. It's going to be a long time, I mean, before I reach like the chest and Blue Baby and things like that. So But hopefully I will get there eventually. I just need to play this game more, and this is one of my first runs that I actually did well in, so I just decided to make a quick video on it. Well, not a quick video, but quickly start making a video. Is that what I'm trying to say? Yeah, so I also, it cost me 3 ref for the DLC and a key for the Binding of Isaac game, and actually huge shout out to Heinsberg, who actually donated a key for me to get this game. That is really nice of you, mate. So yeah, huge thank you to him. He actually gave me a key which allowed me to buy the game, and that's classed as a donation for me, and that's very nice. So I actually featured him on my channel. So if you go down on my channel, you can go and subscribe to him. He's just a nice guy for donating, and if you guys want, you can donate. I'll only accept it if I ever need anything. Like, if you guys want to give me a key just randomly, I won't accept it. It's if I need a game, or need like something to make a video or something like that. So if I want to make a game, let's think of a game. I'm trying to think of a cheap game. Maybe I wanted to make a Limbo gameplay, and I was kind of short on cash, and I wanted to make it quickly. Then you guys, I could probably post it on my Steam group, and then you guys could donate. But I really don't mind if you don't donate. But huge thank you to everyone who has donated. I know there's a couple of people now who have donated to me, so you're actually contributing to my channel and helping it grow. So thank you very much for that. And this is kind of the end of the video. Very nicely timed by me, actually. Kind of lucky. And it's a mum boss fight, and as you can see, I soon go down to a half heart of health. And yeah, I lose it, and then I back up into mum's eyeball, I believe it is. Yep. And I lose the game. But thank you very much for watching. And if you have put up for me rabbling on for this amount of time, I give you a Brucey bonus point. Thank you.